Yo, what's up, guys and gals? I want to give you just 3 simple rules for a better life. Now, there's countless rules I can come up with, countless ideas, but these are just 3 that I want you to sit with and think with today, or at least that have been top of my mind recently, and I've been getting a lot of value out of just unpacking them, sitting with them, and trying to implement them into my life in a meaningful way. So rule number 1, fight the dragon before it gets too big. In life, all of the big problems that we have were once small problems. Like, big problems very, very, very rarely just materialize out of nowhere fully grown and like monster sized. No, sure, sometimes they do. They come out of left field, and that happens sometimes. But most of the time, the big problems in our life, they started small. They were small problems that we ignored. We let fester in the dark. We kept feeding them, letting them grow and get bigger. We kept telling ourselves, I will deal with it later. I'm not ready yet. I need to keep learning. I need to keep growing. I need to do whatever. I'm just not ready to fight that battle yet. And then when you finally looked up one day and you looked at the dragon, it is no longer a monster you could ignore. You realized, well, shit, I'm still not ready to fight that dragon, but now I don't have a choice because the dragon has come to my hometown and is breathing fire everywhere, and now I have no choice but to buck up and do the fight. It would have been so much easier if you had just done the hard thing in the beginning, gone on the adventure, go into the deep, dark cave to fight the monster when he's still small. And I think about this a lot because so many things in my life I just ignore. I let grow unnecessarily because I just don't want to deal with it right now. I don't feel ready. It just feels too hard. But the truth is, like, if it's hard now, just imagine how much harder it's going to be tomorrow and the day after. These problems, they never go away. They never get smaller on their own. They just get bigger. So the longer you wait to fight, the harder the battle's going to be. So you might as well just go fight the dragon now. Simple rule for a better life number 2, seek purpose, not happiness. And if you do, you're going to be very likely to find both. A lot of people think that happiness is the ultimate goal of life. And for a long time, I did too. Like, I was on this hedonistic journey where I just wanted to indulge my carnal desires, right? Like, my 20s were really a lesson in traveling the world and kind of like trying to be happy in the moment as much as possible, trying to optimize for happiness. And yet, while I might have been happy in the moment, when I really took a step back in those quiet moments in the middle of the night, I realized I was lonely, I was sad, I was unfulfilled. And it was because I was pursuing cheap dopamine chemical reactions that didn't fulfill me. And the game really started to change when I stopped seeking happiness, stopped seeking things that made me feel good, and started doing things that I knew had meaning, had purpose behind them. And by definition, those things often were very difficult. And by doing those hard things and pursuing things that have purpose and meaning, I also started to find fulfillment. And that fulfillment bred a much deeper sort of satisfaction and happiness with my life and who I was in general. And so it's very backwards. But if you want a great life, seek purpose, not happiness, and you'll probably find both. Rule number 3, never argue harder for your limitations than for your potential. And I see this so much from people, especially online. I'll put out a post about some kind of inspirational, motivational thing or sharing part of my journey, and people will come back and say, that's so easy for you to say, or, that won't work for me for X, Y, and Z. And like, if it wasn't for this, I could do that. People are so quick to generate 1,000 reasons why the thing can't work for them, why they are never going to have the life that they want. They will argue harder for their limitations than they will for their potential. And I will tell you what, regardless of which one you argue for, you're going to get. If you argue for your limitations, you're going to get that. If you argue for your potential, you're going to get that. It's like Rumi, the great poet, said, that which we seek is seeking us. So if you're seeking your limitations, you will find them. If you're seeking your potential, you will find that. So just be very, very intentional about what it is you're pursuing in your life. And those are 3 simple rules for a better life. Again, these aren't the rules. These aren't all the rules. These are just 3 that I'm thinking about right now. And hopefully these give you a new frame to think about your life through right now and apply towards your business or to your relationships or whatever it is that you're dealing with. So hope this brings you some value. As always, I appreciate you guys being here. I'll catch you back around these parts tomorrow. Until then, stay hyper-focused, my friends.